Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Joey only sitting up here in the Caribou Mountains where we're going to be taking a lot of rain the next couple days. Lots of rain coming at the Caribou Mountains. Hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Caribou Weather Dude is back here again. There it is.
My God. Can you make it out here?
I'll watch the video later. Water. They try mopping this. Start by having a look at our significant weather for today and our significant weather in Area E here in the Wells area. I don't know if we'll be seeing thunderstorms so much as a deluge of rain coming on in. It's going to be a lot of rain, folks. It's already been raining for the last 24 hours here. Now, if you recall, we had the upper level low off the coast, and that upper level low is going to visit the coastal areas, even northern Vancouver Island, with a bunch of crappy weather, but we weren't exactly sure where it was going to go off to. And, you know, the modeling more or less had us believing that we would get a little more warmth in the Caribou Monday and Tuesday than we've had. So that's been an unfortunate change that it turned wet faster here. It's been raining since yesterday afternoon off and on in Wells. Granted, so that's the skinny on that right now. And then if you want to see heavier rainfall and more thunderstorms and whatnot, you're going to have to go to northern British Columbia today. Maybe even Fort Nelson, who's been taking rain still, although Fort Nelson may be our best chance for a strong thunderstorm today. You can see that 1 centimeter hail is on their forecast, 80 kilometer an hour gusts of wind as well. Any rain Fort Nelson area can get is good news, right? They've been really suffering for a bunch of years, so every time they get a little bit of rain, we're happy for them. Looking at the 24-hour QPF, so this is rainfall in a 24-hour period. You can see Vancouver Island taking more than we thought. Some of that rain coming a little further south than we knew that some of it would get to the coastal mountains. It looks like a pretty good signal, though, pretty heavy signal. You can see the rain is on us here already. Northern BC, a little bit more hit and miss, and then we come out for the next day or so. More rain in the mountains. Some of that goes into southern British Columbia, southern BC, taking a bit of a turn into Thursday. Watch how that slides on out. And then the next one starts coming in just like that. Boom, in time for the weekend. So we're really into a wet pattern here in BC this summer. And I don't know if it's going to change or not. I see nothing on the horizon that says to me screamingly, Joey, the weather pattern's going to change. It feels like we're going to have one of these non-summer summers if this keeps up much longer, right? I mean, we're already into July now, and we've not had stable or consistent heat for any length of time. It's been a couple days here, a couple days there. Now we had a couple days in southern British Columbia, but that heat's already bumped off over to Alberta side. They're in heat warnings today. Well, I look out my window, and it's a balmy 18 Celsius. That's nice for a change. That's nice for a change. But as you can see, here we are looking out to the 14th, and it's like every day you're seeing a lot of rainfall. Caribou Mountains taking a lot here. Rocky Mountains taking a lot in this. This is the GFS modeling. Do we ever catch a break? Maybe halfway through the month for a little bit. Of course, these are all subject to change. This is outranging modeling. However, if this did happen on the 19th, which I'm not saying it will because modeling will change completely because of convective weather, look at the rainfall coming to the North Peace to Fort Nelson. This would be huge game changers, so we're going to keep praying for this. So one of the reasons why I got some thunderstorms and things up there is there's definitely some strange weather moving on through there. Northern Yukon, including Oak Crow and northern sections of the Dempster Highway. Between now and Wednesday afternoon, you could be expecting ice pellets, wet snow, temperatures near or below zero, moderate to strong winds generating wind chill values of -5 to -10. Pretty wild, seeing as they've been baking in the heat with thunderstorms every day lately. They are now going to be getting some very chilly weather in the far north, which is great. The far north's the right place for chilly weather. It can stay up there. A dramatic drop in temperatures begins today as a moderate to strong northerly wind off the Beaufort Sea brings a mix of wintry weather to the northern Yukon. Temperatures will plummet from recent near-record warmth to near-record cold tonight. Precipitation will start as rain and change over or become mixed with ice pellets and or snow. Moderate winds in combination with low temperatures may produce wind chill values to -10. -10. Okay, over by Kluglucktuck there, you got an air quality warning. Lots of air quality warnings because of the fire burning. The fires are burning out there now. Heat warning into southern Saskatchewan, southern Alberta. Heat will return to southwestern Saskatchewan today. That will last till Wednesday afternoon. Not very long, okay? Still, that will increase some fire activity up in the far north. Take action to protect yourself. Another extreme heat can affect everybody. Warning signs like headaches, nausea, dizziness, thirst, dark urine, and intense fatigue means that you could be fucking yourself up with the heat. Okay. Air quality warning. Fires are burning. There's more fire activity now in Manitoba and Saskatchewan. It's time that we start looking at that soon. Maybe the next video I'll focus on that some more. We have fires waking up. A lot of them are new fires, different fires that are lightning starts. A lot of the ones that we were fighting and dealing with earlier this spring have ceased to be a story. In some of that shallower ground in the Canadian Shield, sometimes some places they're surrounded by water and whatnot. There's cases where fires struggle if they take enough rain in some of those Canadian Shield places to survive. Whereas British Columbia, we know that because of the nature of our duff here, how deep a lot of the soil is. In most regions, maybe not in parts of the Chilcoot, maybe not parts of Kamloops zone, I get it. But in a lot of regions in BC, if you are taking a lot of water, there's still a lot of ground that fire can be living in the duff way. So we got new fires that have been torching off in Sask. And Manitoba, lots of smoke there, and that's what we're seeing is air quality warnings down the Ontario border. So that's over. Let's going on in Western Canada for today. Looks like here in Wells, not the only place in Canada that's been taking a lot of rain, though. Look at July 7th. Dunchurch had 114.6 millimeters of rain. Pembroke 83.4. Petawawa 68.6 a little further down. Deep River to 62. Arbutus 50. North Algona Wilberforce 50 mils of rain there. So that's put a big dump on their fire story. And the same is over in Quebec there, where Manawagi, 98.1, Rivière Rouge, 92.2, 74 None at Deschambault, L'Assomption at 45.4, and on down as you go through Thetford Mines, Beauceville, Shawnigan, Drummondville, Quebec City Airport, St. Foy, and Beauport, all more or less in the high 40s to high 60 millimeters. And then there's the wind summary, where Montreal international wind gusts per kilometer, Lake St. Pierre had an 81 kilometer gust of wind. And the temperature as well, Montreal 34 degrees, setting new records there. Saint Jean sur Richelieu, 33.7, new record there. Things are pretty quiet there heat-wise in Western Canada. Okay, so let's go look at the rainfall I said was coming to the Cariboo Mountains. Rounds of it, and never ending. I'm sorry, firefighters, I don't have good news for you. Get another job. I'm telling you that because I don't know. I don't know when this rain's going to stop in BC. If the heat's going to take over long enough, it could be like 2019 and 2020. And, 2022 wasn't a busy season, although I did work a couple tours. There was a lot of people who told me they didn't get any work those seasons. So it's bad for us. We need to keep our skills up, keep our crews up, keep our equipment up. And the best way to be doing that is to be working. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we want to be working some big project fire that, is threatening to burn down a town or something like that. But it's we're in a situation where there's just not much work. And my friends in ministry are writing me, asking me sometimes, like, Joey, where's the heat? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm going to do this winter. I'm scared. I'm broke right now. Support your local weatherman, by the way. Don't be afraid to leave a coffee, a donation, become a channel member. Help keep this channel alive because I don't know what's going to happen my work season either, friends. Here we are in the high-res Canadian model. You can see that it's been raining here in the Cariboo Mountains, a little bit in the Cariboo, and we got heavy rain on the coast. Heavy rain. Look at some of these crazy rain values. We'll just stop for a second, and we'll click onto here, and 23 millimeters in 3 hours. That's nuts. That's a crazy amount of rain coming in. Now, see what's happening in the Caribou, and even on the Highway 16 side as well. We're not the only ones taking this, but we're going to have a lot of rain coming in the Caribou. A lot of this is going to kind of jump up and over and settle in on us. Boom, there you go. Heavy rainfall amounts this afternoon here in Wells, and into the evening, continuing. Looks like some of the areas near the Pine Pass could be taking some of that as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chetwynd takes a whole bunch of rain in the process. And look at this. You can see the temperature difference up there. There's a possibility that it might snow a little. Might see a few flurries. And, like we were saying with the Yukon forecast there, calling for that drop in temperatures. It's not too much different. Now you see McDame's at 8 and Telegraph's at 11. But if you go high enough up in the mountains, you're going to find something a little bit different. Low is trying to form on the Alberta side. You can see Slave Lake areas to the north of that, probably taking heavy rain there tonight. And then you go to the North Thompson. The heavy rain will move into there, of course. It's going to linger here in the Caribou. I think we're going to be taking a pretty incredible amount of rain by the time this is all done here in Wells. And that's nice. A little bit of rain up in the Fort Nelson area. They need that. That's good. See that possibility of snow overnight. Because the temperatures, like I say, they'll be pretty low. You can see some of those mountaintops and whatnot are hitting freezing. So is there going to be snow in northern BC tonight? I would say yes. I would say that's a go. That is a go, friends. Back to rain and whatnot. Watching this all head on through Fort McMurray. Look at that heavy rain up into the northern Saskatchewan. That's crossing over there early this morning. You can see some of this gross nastiness. This low pressure is pulling the cold air in down from the north, and it's also look at this great signal of rain in the North Rockies. Great signals of rain, heavy rain, dousing rain, snow in the mountaintops. Unbelievable. And I feel like, where was this in the models the other night when I was making my last forecast video? Yellowknife, heavy rainfall, Hay River. That's good. Their fires up there need that. Some of that might sneak over to the BC side. Heavy rainfall in southern Alberta. That rainfall we've been talking about moves down into southern BC. Here we go. I'm a little bit off here in the map. Heavy rain near Revelstoke and whatnot. So Wednesday, expect some of that moisture to be transporting it down. Look at this. Look at this heavy afternoon rainfall for southern BC. When this garbage basically slides on down from the south, Salmon Arm, look out for some of these areas. Some of these water totals are excessive. These are excessive rainfall totals, I would say, when you're looking at some of those deep red colors. I'm not suggesting we're going to have like some kind of a flooding event coming to this. The weather's not stalling. It seems to be more or less moving on down on Wednesday. Those are high values, though. High values. And especially look at the rainfall that's going to come with some of these storms over here. These are going to be massive, severe thunderstorms over on the Alberta side. Look out. 43 millimeters in 3 hours. I mean, that's extreme rainfall, friends. And that's localized. It could be much worse than that. You see southern BC on Tuesday, not bad, but you're more looking at, no one's getting much over 20, I don't think, tomorrow. And a lot of people are going to be sitting in the teens. So that moves on out finally by Thursday, and maybe we can start to get some warmer weather by then. My God, I hope so, because it's been, I don't know, though it's the summer of no summer so far as I'm concerned. What are we seeing? A little bit warm on Thursday afternoon. Sure, if you're in Kelowna or Kamloops, but these aren't exceedingly hot temperatures for those locations. Those are like seasonal, talking average-wise, like seasonal average, maybe below. Yeah, maybe a touch below seasonal average. And then it's going to be warmer in Fort Nelson than pretty much all the Caribou, right? So Thursday, looking at that warm coming back in. We don't get very much time. Upper level low pattern just going to keep sending the shit in. It's not stopping. I've been talking about it for a long time. We could maybe spend a whole episode just discussing the upper level low pattern for you. That large thunderstorm outbreak in Manitoba on Thursday. Make sure you check in with Weather Center in Manitoba. Justin Ortel there. He would be your best measure to find out what's going on with that. But looking at that next round of shitty weather, going to kind of do much the same as this last one did. And by the time we're looking at Friday, maybe these values will change. Maybe we'll see more rainfall in the forecast by the weekend. And I'm not seeing where our thunderstorms are. I'm not seeing where the heat is. It's just not coming for us in BC. So anyways, that's how the work week ends. And shitty for those of us here in the Cariboo Mountains. Okay, friends, I got rehearsing to do with Tyler today. That's why my microphone setup is different right now, because we've been playing music here. The Joey Only Outlaw Band is going to be back for business. We will be booking shows sometime. I don't know when. We got a lot of work to do to get there, but we will do it. We're going to be booking shows sometime. You could bring us to your town, and we will sing for you and sing songs about weather, wildfires, and everything. That's right. Okay. Like, share, subscribe. Please help the guy. Could use anything that would keep me alive. Okay, bye.